Hey everybody, welcome to the Dana Cam. You are the D Squad. Today's Monday, so we're doing McKellar Motivational Monday. In a moment, I will be joining up with our Facebook friends here, but first I like to start off with just the D Squad just for a moment and say hello. Hey everybody. So we're going to talk about the illusion of the plateau today. Thank you, Real Kevin, Han, and Alexa. And I probably get up and walk out. Skid mark. Thank you, Aunt and Keenan, sweet hottie. Hi, Mom. Perush. Thank you, D Squad. Thanks, everybody. And thanks for everyone who watched Campfire Kiss. Thank you, Ariel. Thanks, Sherry. The plateau, and I'll explain in a moment what I mean by that. Thanks, Chad and Rich. Not Plato, but Plateau. I'll explain that. Thank you, Nate and SMC. And thanks, Alexa, for sharing 2 different ways. Appreciate that. Thank you. Welcome, Tyler. So I'm going to, thank you, to invite these guys. Anyone else wants to share? Bobby, Diana, thank you so much. And it's okay, Elliot. Thank you, Sophia. I'm so glad you liked the movie. Thanks, Mr. Promo and Becca and W, Lauren, Ashley, and Ray. So I'm going to, you know what, Fred Savage, speaking of Fred, he actually emailed me last night to tell me how much he loved Campfire Kiss. We don't talk that often. It was really sweet to hear that. Not Play-Doh either. All right, I'm going to invite Facebook now. Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Dana Cam. My name is Danica McKellar. I'm an actress, math book author, streaming lover, and lots of other things these days. Children's book author and producer. Produced my movie Campfire Kiss that aired this weekend. And so anyway, today it's Monday, so we always do McKellar Motivational Mondays. And we are going to be talking about Campfire Kiss, the movie that I produced that was on this weekend. And a lot of you live tweeted with me, and it was so much fun. A lot of us did indoor camping night, which was great, and s'mores and all the rest of it. So, yes, I'm live on Facebook Live as well. Thank you, Becky. So we'll talk about that as well. First, I just want to briefly tell you guys about this something I've been thinking about, which is the illusion of the plateau. What is a plateau? So the plateau is like a hill, but then it's flat on top, and then maybe it goes down. But a plateau is like a thing you're trying to get to, right? So you climb the mountain, you work hard in life, and you want to get to this place where everything is finally like set. Like, okay, now I'm set. I'm at my plateau. I have a certain kind of job that I wanted. Maybe I'm married, if that's what you want to do. Maybe I finally have kids, if that's what you want to do in your life. Whatever it is, or you want to get to a certain place in your career, and you have this idea, like a mesa, yes. So we get to this place in our minds, if we get there, or we have a certain amount of money in the bank, whatever it is, or we finally buy a house, right? We've got these goals, this plateau that we reach. We're like, okay, I've been climbing, and now I'm here. It's absolutely right, Audio Gates. Once you get it, you want more, right? So you're never going to be satisfied with a certain plateau. And here's the other thing. Even if you get to that place and you think that, well, here's a plateau where I was going to be happy, even if you don't reach for more, even if you don't want more, and most of us do, but even if you don't, that plateau is not going to stay where it is. I hate to break it to you, but the only constant is change. So especially if people, thank you, Mike, especially if people are working really hard to get someplace and they're counting on that to stay where it is, it can be a disappointment. It's kind of like staying in shape, right? It's not like you work hard and you get in shape, you go to the gym and finally like, okay, now I'm set. No, you actually have to kind of keep working. And typically we're either gaining weight or losing weight. Typically we're on one of those. We don't hit a plateau because we're human beings. So emotionally, physically, mentally, we're changing. Our circumstances are changing. Everything's changing all the time. So I just invite you guys to think about, cut to camera 2, you're funny. I invite you guys, for those of you who are watching on 2 devices, Facebook and Periscope, and then you can look at the camera that I'm looking at. That's a really funny idea, if that's what you were talking about. Yeah, so it's just the idea that we're not going to ever hit a plateau where everything is set and we're fine and everything's great and we're finally there and we don't have to work anymore. We're always going to be and I don't want to say you don't have to work anymore. We don't need to be involved anymore. Of course we do. We always need to be involved because everything is changing around us all the time. And how do you move off a plateau? You don't have to, Jerry. It's going to move. The plateau itself is going to move and change shape, and we're going to have to adjust. any parents out there, like if let's say you have in your head, okay, someday I'm going to buy a house and I'm going to get married and have kids, and then we're good, we're all done, we're set, we're just going to ride that out until retirement. It's not how it's going to go. Most likely. Yes, your plateau changes every year, where our goals are changing, you're constantly adjusting, and anybody who's had a baby knows that you're not getting sleep. I mean, your whole life changes in ways you couldn't have expected. Nothing looks the way you think it's going to. And by the way, parenthood is amazing, and it's the best thing that ever happened to me. But it's just, your life keeps changing, and then you've got this baby, and you're like, oh, I love having a baby, and then they're not going to stay a baby. They're going to change. Their needs are going to change. You're going to change. So I just want to invite you guys to not worry so much about hitting a certain plateau that you have in your mind, because it's illusory. The actual plateau itself is illusory. Casey Zeman, how you doing? You just had a baby. Yes, of course. Constantly adjusting. And your goals will change, and allow that to change. There's a great book called Who Moved My Cheese, and it's about having a place where you always get your cheese from, whatever your satisfaction is, and then that changes. Maybe you get fired, maybe you have to move, who knows, something happens, and then somebody breaks up with you. You have to find a new happy place, a new place to get your cheese from, a new place to get your satisfaction from. And if you're stuck thinking, no, I only was able to get it from that one place, then you're going to stay unhappy for much longer than if you can be fluid and flexible and, just like roll with it. Look around, keep your eyes open. So where is my happiness going to come from now? I mean, happiness itself, of course, only comes from the inside, but what am I going to do to improve my life now? Staying flexible, staying malleable, and knowing that if you've got this goal, and goals are fantastic, but just know that's not going to be the end all be all. That's not going to be the end. It's not going to be the landing place that then you just hang out on. So especially if for those of you who are in your 20s or younger, please listen to that advice. Those of you who are a little older might actually have already figured that out on your own, like many of us have. So that's what I wanted to say about the plateau. Now let's talk about, oops, shoot. Hang on, I gotta block somebody. Now let's talk about Campfire Kiss. So Campfire Kiss is the Hallmark Channel movie that I produced that aired this week, and it premiered this weekend. And, oh, by the way, if any of you guys wanted to say anything about that, I didn't see a lot of comments about the plateau. A little bit, and I interacted. But let me know if you want any more of that. Live in the moment and be the change you want to see. Thank you, Joe. That's great. Wait till I'm a grandmother, Lois. Someday, I hope Draco decides to have kids if he wants to. It would be amazing. Thank you, Audio Gates. So, Campfire Kiss. Your wife cried during the movie? That's awesome. Oh, I won't do any spoilers, Diana. Don't worry. No spoilers. Just want to say that it was a really, really fun time live tweeting with you guys. It is going to air again this weekend if you didn't see it. I didn't memorize the times, but I'm pretty sure it airs Saturday evening, maybe at 7 o'clock, and then 6 o'clock Central, I think, and then on Sunday afternoon, I believe it also airs, I think. Check into that. You can go to the Hallmark website, and I think it's hallmarkchannel.com/campfire-kiss, something like that. Saturday at 7. Thank you, Jen. So it'll re-air in case you missed it. But it was really, really fun. The treasure hunt scene was cute. Thank you. Barbara Niven is wonderful. She is in Campfire Kiss. She plays a camp counselor and yoga instructor. And it's a very fancy camp. We've got yoga and big fancy tents and things. Thank you, Pat. Yes, Scott. Yes, Sophia. Scott, my husband, was in the movie in the background walking down the hall as a teacher in one of the very first scenes in the movie. It was filmed in Vancouver. I didn't get back to you with help with a math problem. You know what, Jewel? If you have tweeted me at McKellar Math, I haven't had a chance to look at it for a few days. I've been super busy, so I will take a look. And my mom and my son, yes. So that's correct. No, Mr. Savage did not help me produce Andy, but he did email me last night to tell me congratulations, and he really liked the movie. It was really sweet to hear from him. What was I just saying before? I don't know when Campfire Kiss is going to be available in Canada. Usually it'll air a few weeks later on Bravo, I've noticed. They seem to do that a lot. This is a Blue Jays t-shirt that I'm wearing right now because my son loves the Blue Jays. So Draco and my mom are they're in the background in the camping store. When I first meet Paul Green, Paul Green's character, when I'm trying to open the camping pot or whatever that was. So I know, J-Rod, yeah, Harry couldn't play the right song. It was really funny. Welcome everybody who's joining. So yeah, so they were in the background, like looking at merchandise. They were a little out of focus, but they're there. And there's one place where my mom, when they're first walking up, you can see my mom's face. And then when I'm talking, there's one shot where Draco's turned around and looking in the direction of the camera. Yes, Paul is very handsome, Sherry, and he's a really good actor. And that's why I wanted him to be in the movie, because I was producing it. I got a chance to actually help choose my cast members. And yes, Draco's trying on some sort of glasses, some sort of like, I don't know what, maybe it's got a flashlight on it or something for camping. And we did a lot of live tweeting, and I did a book giveaway, and so I've chosen the 5 winners. I've actually DM'd them, and I've heard back from 3 or 4, not all of them yet. So if you were a really active tweeter on Saturday night and you think you might have been a winner, then check your DMs if you don't usually. Yes, Jen. So Draco, we say the name Draco in the movie when I'm stargazing, and Paul comes up and he says, and I ask him what his favorite constellation is. He says Draco, and that's my son's name. Of course, I added that line in myself, and it is. Draco is named after the constellation, and it is a constellation that circles the North Star. You noticed that right away. Yes, Justin, I was on a movie called Sidekicks a long time ago, about 25 years ago, I think, yeah. Yeah, it was 1992. That's crazy. Thank you, Jean. The movie is also a little bit about handling change. That's true. All the happiness, sometimes. We should always keep trying, Damien. Absolutely. Life is an interactive sport. We have to be engaged and stay active, play a role. Yes, Jonathan Brandis was in that movie, Ben Gott. Well, Becky, I will probably produce another movie. The campsite is real. It's up in Vancouver. There were 2 different campsites that we used. I don't know the names of them. I don't remember. We shot in 2 different ones because they wanted to have a lot of different looks for it, since so much of the movie was there. How am I so positive? Elegant. I'm not positive all the time. Believe me, I have my moments, for sure. But that's the point. The point is, there's no plateau. I'm not happy all the time. I've asked my husband. There's all sorts of times when I'm like I'm overwhelmed, or I'm just get sad all of a sudden for no reason. Well, you don't need to always be negative either. Allow yourself to flex. Sing for us. Okay, so I sing, so this isn't really a spoiler. I sing the pie song in the movie. There's a pie song that I wrote, not about the dessert, like as I said in the movie. It's, I am human, old mantras. It's so true. And we can't be neutral either, talented cats. We gotta go up and down. I'm sending a hug, Fabio, to you and your daughter, Isabel. Yes. So there's a song that I sang, that I wrote 3 years ago called I call it Dance of the Sugar Pie Fairy. It has 139 digits of pi, and since I played a math teacher in this movie, which also is because I produced it, so I was involved with the script from the very beginning, and wanted to have the math in it. I wanted to have a chance to get my math message out, which I get to do a few times with Lacey, Paul Green's daughter's character. So, yes, I've sung the pie song many times before. I'll sing a little bit. Well, you guys make me happy too, Elegant. I really, really enjoy interacting with everyone. I really do. There's something wonderful about live streaming, is that you can interact with people. And yes, I do get sad, Jason, all the time. I guess I could do a sad scope sometime when I'm feeling sad. You guys want to see that? I tend to not want to. Hey, Oscar. I tend to not want to spread sadness. Yeah, no sad scope. I didn't think so. The whole point is I want to try to help. You can cheer me up. Oh, thank you, Bobby. The whole point is I want to be a good, happy influence an effect on you guys. I want to improve your lives, not like drag you down. So my instinct is that. All right, back to singing. Pi is equal to 3.141592653589793238462 then 433-832-7950288419719375993-993-75105-820974 and then 944 5 then 2 and then 307 8164. Hey, where's the end? Okay, so that's the first half of the song. That's the one that I know the best. And I did sing a little bit on Harry. So Harry Connick Jr., who I really admire, he's that singer, crooner, amazing, amazing talent. He has a talk show now called Harry. It's syndicated during the week, and I had an episode on today. I Instagrammed ahead of time, and I think last night and again today to let you guys know, in case if you follow me on Instagram. And I think that it was on Facebook. It would have shown on Facebook as well. So when I was gonna do the show, they said, "Oh, well, we heard you have this Pie song. Would you like to sing it on the show?" I'm like, "Sure." And they said, "Well, how about if Harry sings it with you?" I'm like, "That'd be amazing. I mean, it's hard to learn, but okay." Well, I got to the show, and they said, "Well, okay, so Harry likes surprises, so we didn't think he was gonna memorize the song anyway. So here's what we decided: you're going to suggest that you sing it, and you're gonna surprise him. So he can play anything, so he'll be able to play Dance of the Sugar Plum Fairy, so that won't be a problem." And I'm like, okay, we're not going to rehearse? All right, this is already blowing my mind that we're going to sing on television without having rehearsed first, but okay, together, him playing piano and me singing, but I'm still so excited about it. I'm not going to say no. I'm like, yeah, I get to perform with Harry Connick Jr.? Yes. So I said, well, how is he going to know what key to play it in? And he said, oh, he'll know when you start singing. Okay. So we get up, we do the interview, and they told me, okay, your cue is going to be when he says, "Do you ever use music to teach?" Fine. So I said, yes, I do. In fact, I wrote a Pie song. Would you like to play and I'll sing it? And he goes, sure. So we go up there, and I start singing it to give him a feel for what it is. And he goes, oh, why did it have to be Tchaikovsky? I'm like, Tchaikovsky? Well, of course he knows how to play that, right? Well, he kind of knew, but didn't really. And so as I was singing, he wasn't playing the right part of the song at all. And we tried a couple times. I'm not sure how it cut together. I never saw the finished show, but it was really funny because it was a disaster, basically. And again, I don't know what happened, what they ended up airing, but what happened when we were there is he goes, all right, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to practice for the next 3 months and we'll get back to you. It was not taped live. Actually, I taped it a week and a half ago. So it was a funny disaster, right? Thank you, old mantras. It was hard, Worship Rocks, but it was fun too. And they were like, oh no, it's great, it was so funny. Thank you, Jen. They said it's all good. Who got the 5 autograph books? I don't have the names memorized. Oh, but you did, Priscilla, who just, right? Didn't you? That was weird. Right after you, Priscilla Hidalgo, I think, something like that. That looks familiar. Oh, thanks, Mom. So I get to say that I performed with Harry Connick Jr. We sang. Well, I sang and he played piano. Kind of. It probably, yes, the fact that it was funny probably did make good TV. My blood type, Lois, I am O negative. Yes, Priscilla, you did win. O negative. I'm the universal donor. Thank you, Train or Die. In a karaoke kind of way, it was funny. Humor is happy. Yeah. Yes, Scott loves my singing voice. My singing was okay. It was fine. It just didn't work with the piano, and I can't play piano, so anyway, it was just funny. Impractical Jokers. Let's see, I have like 1 more minute. I should probably go. Impractical Jokers was so fun. Someone's asking me about that. Oh, Jennifer, my book is called Goodnight Numbers. Oh, I'm so glad. Wait, your 3-year-old lives books, so likes books maybe. The Element song. Shoot, what was I just gonna say? Oh, Impractical Jokers. Right. So I was on that show. It was like a year and a half ago, maybe more. A year and a half ago, I think. And I was part of Murr's Punishment. For those of you who've seen it, and a lot of people have seen it because they air it all the time. I was telling Scott, I'm like, gosh, if I'd gotten paid for that, and like with residuals, I would be making so much money, but I did it for free. Anyway, it was a really, really fun time. He was having to interview me. He was oiled up in a Speedo, and I was interviewing me. I was his high school crush. If you haven't seen it, this sounds really bad and weird, but I will say for those of you who did see it, the other jokers told me exactly what was going on, and they said, your only job is not to smile. You must not smile. You must not make him feel comfortable, no matter what you do. That was the challenge. But it was my hardest acting job to date. But it resulted in a very funny segment that a lot of people really love. How do we do s'mores? We do a fireplace. That's how we've got a fire. We use the fireplace to make the marshmallows runny, and then we just put everything else. I tried melting the chocolate in the toaster oven, but it was too gooey. It really was. Thank you, everyone. And one last quick thing. For those of you who are in Southern California, and only a small handful of you are, I'm going to be doing a book signing on Wednesday, this Wednesday in 2 days, at the Thousand Oaks Barnes & Noble. So thank you so much, everyone. East Coast book signings will happen next year. 2018, I've got 3 books coming out. 3 books. So they said we'll be doing a book tour for that year. Thank you again. Thank you for your follows, for your shares. You guys are awesome. You are the D Squad. Thank you for watching the Danicam, and I'll see you very soon right here. Bye.